Thanks for inviting us in on this Friday night. It's now 11 o'clock. Thanksgiving, as you know, is less than a week away, and with Hoosiers getting ready for the big day, some may need a little help putting food on the table. Our Logan Gay shares the effort tonight from a local church to step up and offer that kind of help.
It's almost Thanksgiving, and as prices continue to increase at the grocery store, churches and neighbors feel like it's now more important than ever to help feed the community. This year, some Hoosiers are doing the math and paying closer attention to the cost of one of America's favorite meals.
I think turkeys are like 94 cents a pound, so you want to get at least 12 pounds. So y'all do the math, people. New Day Pentecostal Church in Hallville is celebrating 8 years of helping neighbors set their Thanksgiving tables with these annual Thanksgiving baskets, and they don't plan on slowing down. We do this to help our community, to show love. The church is handing out 200 turkeys and bags filled to the top with everything needed to make a full Thanksgiving meal and more. We just had the government shut down, so there are a lot of people out there that are in need. And in our baskets, we have like turkey and all the fixings for Thanksgiving, but there are also things that you can use later on in the year. Demetrius Adams left with a turkey and says the food will make a real difference at home.
You know, sometimes it's hard, you go through a lot of things in life, and this here is like, it's needed, in some ways, and just to maintain for myself and my wife. Family is the closest thing you have, and that's what we are. We are a big family, and we want to welcome more people into our family.
365 days a year. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Love to see that church working with those families. And if you and your family need some assistance with food, the Indianapolis Office of Public Health and Safety has a couple more giveaways this month. You can stop by Breeding Tabernacle next Tuesday between noon and 2:30 or Stanley Schrader next Wednesday from 3 to 5. Tonight, Governor Mike Braun is saying enough is enough when it comes to these threats and intimidation attempts that have been targeting state lawmakers. So over the last 6 days, we've seen 8 state senators in the Republican Party report threats as pressure mounts to take on redistricting. Today, the governor confirming he and his family were also targeted. State police tell us they're now investigating those threats and swatting attempts. Governor Braun now saying in a statement, rest assured, if you threaten or attempt to carry out acts of violence against Indiana's elected officials, we will bring you to justice. Now I want to take you to Lafayette, where we're working to get an update tonight on that police shooting at an apartment complex that ended with a suspect killed. Police tonight telling us that officers tried to pull the man over for possible impaired driving when the suspect made threats to harm himself and then took off. At the time, police didn't chase after him, but about an hour later, they tracked him down at an apartment complex where officers confronted him. Police say he told officers he had a weapon, then reached for his waistband. That's when officers shot him. State police and the Lafayette Police Department tonight are now conducting a joint investigation. Tomorrow will be a tough day in Delaware County as that community lays to rest a sheriff's deputy who was killed in the line of duty. Today, we saw a huge outpouring of support for Corporal Blake Reynolds, who was killed in that crash last week while helping a semi-driver who was stranded on the side of I-69. Tonight, the public visitation for Reynolds was packed at Grace Baptist Church in Muncie. Tomorrow, there's another public service at Delta High School with his burial to follow at Jones Cemetery. Now, we're going to stream this service. That way you can watch it live over on WTHR+. And today, the Frankfort community said goodbye to a hero. Sergeant Terry Fry was laid to rest today following a military funeral. The Indiana National Guardsman was killed in that crash last week while traveling in a convoy that crashed on I-65 in Boone County. 3 other guardsmen were hurt that day. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. Grab a drink with friends in Broad Ripple or take a cool walk through Irvington. There's just about everything for everyone here in Indianapolis. But as Alex Almanza shows us on this Friday night, an East Side community is finding its identity with the help from city leaders.
From the artsy and historic vibes of the Fountain Square neighborhood to the vibrant nightlife and shopping district of Mass Ave, each neighborhood has something different and unique. But enter a different neighborhood. Little Flower is vying to be the new cultural hub and the new hangout spot of the East Side. Friday night is spent a bit differently here at the New Life Next Generation Church. For this youth group, giving back to the neighborhood of Little Flower is part of their mission.
It's because we're loving here. Right. We're open here. We don't judge here.
It's part of why when the city of Indianapolis gave this neighborhood $30,000 as part of a new pilot grant program, these parishioners saw it as a blessing to the sometimes overlooked community.
The drugs is a big thing out here in this area. Almost every day we hear a fire truck or paramedics go past.
Youth pastor Kendra Cook says she hopes that small pot of money makes a big change. At this church, the neighborhood changemakers are already at work, hosting a clothing and food giveaway this weekend. Neighborhood Association board member Jacob Morales says things like this create a special pocket in Indy.
It really fills me up with passion to be able to see us moving in that direction, especially bringing funding to such an underserved area.
Morales says that $30,000 will be used to create public art displays, events, and amenities like benches and signage. A name for the district is also being floated. It would be called the Dime. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.